Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a realistic suburban house in Minecraft step by step, block by block, including the interior for all of your city building needs. Fun fact, I'm hidden somewhere in the intro of this video. If you spot me, leave a comment down below. The first person to get it right will have their comment pinned. When I designed this house, I had neighborhoods in mind, which means that you can do fun things like this. You can stack multiples of this house together in a row to create a street, but not only that, you can create two semi-detached houses by building two of these, mirroring one of them, and then combining them together like this. Just a couple of ideas for you. This is the amount of space required to make the house. I would recommend copying this grid into your world, and if you do, to find the starting position, begin at the front left hand corner of the grid, count backwards, find the fifth block, and then count to the right and find the third block. That is where we start. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Begin the build by placing 4 bricks extending up from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then place 4 polished granite slabs extending right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place a brick on the end and extend down. Then extend backwards by 2. 1, 2. And then right by 2. 1, 2. Place a brick wall. Extend up by 2. 1, 2. A granite wall. Extend right by 2. 1, 2. Extend brick wall down to the ground. Then place 2 bricks extending right. 1, 2. Then extend backwards by 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then, extending across the back of the build, place a bricks, a diorite wall, which we want to extend up by 2. 1, 2. Place a row of glass pane to the right of this. Leave a gap of 1, and then place 3 bricks. 1, 2, 3. Extend forwards by 2. 1, 2. And then right. Line up with the front of the build like so. And then start extending forwards by placing a brick, 2 terracotta, 1, 2. We then want to place 2 rows of glass pane on top of the terracotta. I would actually recommend using black stained glass pane. So 1, 2 rows. Then a row of terracotta on top of the black stained glass pane. We will then stack 2 rows of bricks. 1, 2. Extend that second row of bricks to the right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2 terracotta. 1, 2. Stack 2 rows of black stained glass pane on top of the terracotta. 1, 2. And then place a row of terracotta on top of the glass pane. Like this. Then we will place a brick here, right of the bottom window. Leave a gap of 1, and then place a row of bricks extending all the way forwards. Like so. So that will give us this rather chaotic floor plan. It's going to look normal soon, I promise. Let's make the garage door. To begin, we will place 1, 2, 3 rows of quartz pillar, just like this, 1 row behind the bricks. We then want to place a row of upside down, smooth quartz stairs on top of the quartz pillar like this, and it gives a really interesting effect. Then, we are going to place a row of bricks on top of the garage. We will then place 1, 2 bricks extending in from the left and 1, 2 extending in from the right with terracotta in between. We will then place 2 rows of black stained glass pane on top of the terracotta, a row of terracotta on top, and then bricks on top of that. We are then just going to fill left and right and extend all the way up to meet that row of bricks. And then we are going to create a pyramid shape on top of this just by placing 2 shrinking rows of bricks, just like so. And then we are going to turn our attention over here to the entrance area. So step 1 is just to extend our bricks up to reach the height of the door frame, which is this granite wall that we've placed. Then behind our brick wall, we are going to place rows of smooth quartz block like this, with a black stained glass connecting them together at the top. And ultimately, an iron door will go here, although we will have to replace the floor later, so that was kind of a waste of time. Then we are going to extend these bricks 2 rows backwards. So this is just the side of the upper part of the garage. And on top of this, we want to place a row of smooth quartz block, like so. Above the door frame, we will place 3 terracotta, and then 2 rows of black stained glass pane on top of the terracotta. Then we will stack a row of quartz pillar, just like this. And then we are just going to build up left and right of this with the smooth quartz, just like so. And that is all we have to do. This leads us around to the right side of the build, where we are just going to extend all of those bricks and all of those smooth quartz blocks backwards. There are no details on this side of the build unless you want to voluntarily add some windows later. The reason being is that this side of the build is where we would, if we wanted to, connect another house. So now we can move around to the back of the house, where first of all we are actually going to extend this brick block here all the way back and down to this position, just like so. And then we can extend these 2 bricks all the way up to the top, like this. Then we can extend the bricks left and right of this French door just all the way up and then just across the top, like this. We will then place a row of smooth quartz on top of our bricks. And we want the same window that we have on the front, so above this French door area we will place 3 terracotta, stack 2 rows of black stained glass pane, then a row of quartz pillar on top of that, and then we will fill left and right of this in with smooth quartz, just like so. Then, to the right of this area, we will extend our bricks across the top, and then down to this corner, just like so. We will then place terracotta underneath these 2 middle blocks at the top, and place 2 rows of black stained glass pane extending down, and then a row of terracotta underneath that. And then we are just going to fill this entire area in with bricks, just like this. We will also create a pyramid shape just at the very top of the build, just like so. And then this leads us onto this side of the build, which looks like a bit of a mess. But for a bit of a placeholder and nothing else, we will stick a door here. We can then just fill the entire side of this build in with bricks. I only wanted to place a door there just so that it's just a nicer visual representation of what has to go there, so it's just the right size. Funnily enough, guys, a door is the right size of the door that we're going to be placing there later. We're not going to be using iron, though. We're going to use an oak door, but we will place bricks extending all the way up, connect the front to the back like so, and that is perfect. Although, I do now want to head all the way over onto the opposite side of the build over here, And I want to create the roof shape. It's really simple. We basically just want to place rows of smooth quartz that shrink by 1 row each time, extending from the front of the build to the back of the build like this. And that's how it looks. A standard roof shape, some may say. And we then want to apply that roof shape onto this side of the build. So if this makes sense, right, it's a little bit of a different shape on this side of the build because this side of the build is slightly higher. But using bricks, we want to copy that shape, if that makes sense. So it does take a little bit of eyeballing. Like, you want to connect this smooth quartz here, and I'll just draw a row to it. Like, you want to start from that smooth quartz here, and the same here, and then that's where the shape begins. So if you have to, do what I've done and just extend a row of bricks across, but basically we do just want to copy that shape onto this side. You know what, guys? I think it's about time that we took care of that pesky roof. To begin, we will place deep slate brick stairs along the sides of our 4 triangular shapes. We have 1 triangle for each side of the house. So that's the right side. This is the back. Then the left side. And finally, the front. We then want to place smooth quartz stairs extending out from those deep slate stairs. So hanging off the side of the build, whichever side it is, we will have this. So to join this together on the front of the house, we will place a row of deep slate brick stairs extending along the top of this wall. We will then place a row of smooth quartz slab extending in from the right in front of those stairs. We will then place a smooth quartz stair that curves and joins to the front of this little mini roof, like so. Then we'll just move around to the side and we'll do a similar thing here. So we'll place an extra row of smooth quartz stair like this and extend it along to here. Ultimately, these stairs want to curve around and join together, like so. Then when it comes to the back of the build, we want to do the same thing. So we'll have an extra row of stair here, upside down stair underneath, and once again we just want to curve these around to join. I'm placing it the wrong way. I wondered why it wasn't working, but we want it to. It's a regular stair, not an upside down stair. Then along this side of the house we want to do a similar thing to the front. So we want to place our deep slate brick stairs, smooth quartz slab in front of these, leave a block at the edge, and then just curve around some smooth quartz stair, like so. Then we are just going to add upside down smooth quartz stairs underneath our smooth quartz, so here, and we've already done it a little bit on the sides here as well, just like so. By the way, there will be a solid smooth quartz block at the top here and a smooth quartz slab. Let's just place it now, why not, since I've already done it. So along the very peak of the roof here, there will just be a row of slabs. And then we will just, since we're on this side now, we'll place the upside down stairs like so, just underneath the edge of the roof. That's looking pretty good. I think that we're missing some upside down stairs underneath here. And that is looking perfect. So all we've got to do now is kind of just meld all of these together, which is really easy. We just use rows of deep slate stairs to extend in and around just at right angles, joining the front and the side roofs together, and also the back and the side roofs, of course, as well. I did contemplate, although I think that I made the right choice in the end, as to whether or not have these top two stairs be smooth quartz? Like, would it look better that way? But I don't think it would. I think that the roof being majoritively deep slate really does do a lot here, so I'm going to leave it as it is, but that might be something that you'd like to do. But there we go, that's looking very clean, and we want to do the exact same thing on the back of the building. Once again, I would just recommend starting just trying to join the little mini roof together to the big roof, and then once you've done that, like, that's the hard part out of the way. And I think that that's the whole thing. I would like to add a few random details now. So, for instance, drain pipes in the form of polished black stone wall extending up that back corner of the house, and an equivalent one on the front corner of the house. I also want to add a mangrove button here above this window, a birch button here next to the door, an iron bar here with a pale oak shelf above it, just like so. Next, I am going to create a pathway that leads from the edge of the grid all the way to the front door. So this is just 3 rows of smooth stone. Just like this. I also want to make the driveway, which is the width of the garage door, and instead of smooth stone, we are using some andesite. Just like this. Not only that, we want to add a fence around most of the property. So along the left side of the grids, we are going to stack a row of spruce trap doors like this, and we'll extend it along the back as well. That's as far as these will go. Unless you would like to have a fence all the way around the house, that's completely up to you. And whilst they are laid flat like this, stack another row on top of these, because it's just easier in this position. Hopefully these are all placed the right way. I'm going to be a little sad if they're not. Right, moment of truth. Let's flip all of these up. Let's start with the top row. Might be easier. Oddly satisfying. That, actually, not oddly satisfying, very satisfying. I don't know why. that was crazy. Anyway, we are also just going to grab the spruce door while we're at it as well. So, along the side here, we are going to have a pathway that leads not only to the back garden, but also to the kitchen door as well, which will be here ultimately. So, this pathway will lead all the way to the very back, just like this, and it's going to be made out of just stone itself. So there we go. And then somewhere along here we want a garden gate, or just a double gate. It can be right here, or it can be a bit further back. It doesn't matter really. And then we also want to add a row of oak leaves. So the oak leaves start here and they extend forwards. So the oak leaves are just a soft barrier, and they just sit next to the house, or you can have them extend all the way up, it doesn't matter. They're a soft barrier because this might very well be attached to another house, hence why that's why we've not got anything substantial here, in case you do want to like build another one attached to this. So next, we are just going to remove this back row of white concrete of the grid. We'll replace it with podzol, stick some large ferns in there, and then we are going to make a patio. So the patio is made by just removing all of these grass blocks that extend out of the back of this portion of the house. It'll be quite obvious where to remove from. So like here. And then we're just going to fill this up with smooth stone. And then you can stick anything that you want here. Like, in my mind, this is like a brand new built house, and there's not really anything back here. There's literally just an empty patio, a shed, but you could put like a seating set or something back here, or a barbecue. I mean, there's not too much that really fits. Now, one last option is if you would like to add a shed into the back corner of the garden, you can place a row of 1, 2, 3 spruce planks extending up from this corner, and then extend forwards 2 rows, and across the back by 2 rows as well. You do have to destroy the plant. We can then extend that side forwards by 2 rows as well. Then place a dark oak door here, spruce planks across the top. We can then create a roof by placing dark oak slabs like this, just along the sides, forwards, and then up and in until they join at a point, and then we can just extend them back and do the same. And then just connect them from front to back like this. And this is a super simple shed design. Perfect. You could even drop it half a row lower if you want, but I didn't want to connect it to the fence. And then in here, crafting table, oak shelf, and then you can stack the oak shelf with just different tools. And that's it. That's about as simple as we're going to get here. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, we have actually completed the entire outside of the build, which means it's now time to head inside and work on the interior. Step 1, I think that we should divide the ground floor into rooms, starting all the way over here. Place 2 smooth quartz block extending forwards from this brick. 1, 2. Then place 2 bookshelves, 1, 2, further extending back. And then 4 smooth quartz block, 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave a gap of 1 and then place 2 smooth quartz. Then hop over here, leave a gap of 2 left of this door, 1, 2, and then place a row of 1, 2, 3 smooth quartz block, almost joining to our new wall. Then from here, we are actually going to make the ceiling. So the ceiling is made by placing smooth quartz block directly above the window line. So the French door / window / front door line. We want to have a row of smooth quartz that just cuts this entire area in half, which is cool because it will appear as though that these ceilings are just smooth quartz, but because of where we are placing this, we can actually have another floor material laid on top of this. So for upstairs, we can have carpet, which is going to be really cool as opposed to just smooth quartz. So there we go. That's perfect. And then from here, we can stack bricks on top of our smooth quartz rows that we have laid out, just like this, and this will divide the area into rooms. We can even extend our bookshelves up as well. Where we have these gaps are where doors are going to go, so we'll just place a brick here and here, just like so, and now you can see this area is nicely divided. This is the living room, the kitchen, and this is going to be the garage / car hole room. We do also want to create a set of stairs though, so the stairs are positioned here. We want to place a row of 1 smooth quartz block from this diorite wall, leave a gap, and then place 1, 2, 3, 4 smooth quartz extending forwards. Then we will place a smooth quartz stair here on the end, and then we will start extending the stairs upwards and backwards to here. So ultimately, we will have brown wool as most of the floor material up here. So you can just add a little bit of brown around the top of the staircase, and then we can just drop all the way back down to the ground level. So we do also want to just remove the grass from inside the staircase area, and I'm going to place some polished diorite like so. We can now just stick a door on this and then place some bricks around the door just like so, and we also just want to cover up the stairs for the staircase. I'm going to place some oak fence just along the side of the staircase like this, and now we can actually start removing the rest of the floor, and we can have the actual floor in its place. So believe it or not, I never planned for us to just be walking around on grass. Well, I'll be honest, I did consider it because then we wouldn't have to do anything. But no, we are going to remove all of these, including inside the garage as well. I realise that it's quite dark, isn't it? But we can still see. I will turn the light on in just a second. So inside the garage area, I'm just going to stack andesite, just like this. I'm also wondering, so inside the garage you can see that we have a smooth quartz that's missing here. I don't think... Oh, we can. So we can replace that with a smooth quartz. So the kitchen floor, I am just going to use polished diorite for this. If you'd like, you can chuck in some polished deep slate as well if you want to create a checker pattern. I actually kind of like this really simple, just polished diorite. I think it looks quite nice. And then for the living room, I'm just going with brown carpet. Do feel free to change this. More than likely, it would be some form of grey. Almost all new builds are all grey and whited out, so, you know, do bear that in mind if you would like to go for a bit more of a realistic approach. The interior door, we are just going to have an oak door, and I kind of do like the iron door for the kitchen, so that I think I'm going to keep it actually, and this does mean that it's a little bit trickier to get in and out of the house, but that's okay. We'll just add a button there and there. Maybe we'll chuck a pressure plate there later. Also, again, like we can find these in a few different places. We can remove this block at the very least, replace that with a smooth quartz. This one we can't. That has got to be a brick. We are also going to give the garage a door as well. And we have to replace the front door too. So spruce pressure plate here, stone pressure plate here. I'm just going to hop outside and stick an iron door here. And that is absolutely perfect. So now we can just get in, out and through. Nice and easy. Going to turn the light on as well. Right, let's do some decorating. So step one, I'm going to place an iron bar here just next to the front door with a pale oak shelf here, iron bar here, and we will stick a pale oak trapdoor in front of this. Then on this opposite side, an armor stand, scaffolding here, a couple of end rods here, brown glazed terracotta here. All the way over in this corner, we will have a decorated pot, flower pot inside of it, then a fern inside of that. Then, throw down loom, open it up, green banner in there with white dye, apply the pally pattern. This is a curtain, which I'm just going to apply next to the French door here. Then, we are going to place, on this wall, we want to have a TV. So this is a 2x2. That, you know what, it's not the worst painting in the world. So we'll leave a gap of one and place some spruce slabs on the ground in front of this. Then a mangrove stair, leaving a gap of one from the edge of the table with mangrove signs either side of said stair. And then against the bottom of the stairs, we'll have two mangrove stairs with mangrove signs either side, just like so. If you wanted to, you could stick another chair somewhere here, but it kind of gets in the way, so I wouldn't recommend it. We can place some green carpet at the base of the stairs to kind of try and tie in a bit of green into the room. We're doing pretty well though, honestly. I'm wondering if it might look a little bit better if this lamp was moved one row over. I think that it does, to be honest. And then from here, we can just head underneath the stairs. And underneath here is just like a toilet, basically. So upside down smooth cut stair, spruce trapdoor flipped up on top, cauldron here, and then we'll just stick, what shall we use for the wall? So since this is white, we will use smooth quartz. So here, and then trip by a hook. We could actually place a mirror here, and if we wanted to make one of those, we'd throw down loom, open it up, light blue banner in there with some white dye, and we would apply a bend pattern, and then a gradient pattern, then stick some black dye in there and apply the bordure pattern. And then we can just place it here, and we will be reusing this later, so either keep it safe or we'll come and clone this one when we need it. Next, we will head all the way over into the kitchen. That was far more difficult than it had to be, which is all the way over here in the opposite side of the house. To start with, we will place 2 rows of smooth quartz block from the floor to the ceiling in this corner, with an iron bar here, furnace here, stone stair here, polished diorite block here, brewing stand here, pale oak shelf here, cauldron here, polished diorite slab here, rail here. We will then place a block of iron here with a polished diorite stair on top. In this corner, will then place a smooth quartz stair, end rod in front, polished blackstone pressure plate on top, smooth quartz stair here on the opposite side. And then above this, we will have a 1x1 painting. Could even go for a 2x1. Nope. Okay, let's go for a 1x1. I immediately didn't like that. We also want to place an oak shelf on this wall. This kind of gets in the way of the button, but we'll throw down a pressure plate a little bit later. Not only that, we have to make a light. So the light's in the middle of the room, which that's an annoying place for it. So I think maybe we'll stick it here, or maybe even what. I think that's fine. So a lantern, and then we'll surround it with pale oak signs. If you would even like a light, so either here or we can shift it over one. Like it's a bit of a tricky place. Like if we place it here, it's kind of like right in our face as we walk in, which I don't like. We also have to add a couple of tripwire hooks into this oak shelf here. We have to add some kitchen utensils into this pale oak shelf. We can add our green banner from earlier here to act as a tea towel. Feel free to make a different one if you don't like it. We can also use the mirror banner that we made earlier to augment this. So this is meant to be a washing machine. So throw down a loom, put the mirror banner in there with black dye, apply the fast pattern, and if you then stick it in front of the washing machine, you have a more convincing washing machine. So that is the door. And not only that, we have to make a clock banner as well. To do that, we can throw down a loom, which I don't even know why I destroyed it in the first place, and place a white banner in there with black dye. Apply the pale pattern, followed by the fast pattern. Put white dye in there and apply the pale dexter and then base pattern. And then you can make the clock. So you can actually leave it like this if you like on the wall, like so. Or you can add a border around it. I'm going to go with grey. So just a grey border using the border pattern. And there you go. That's all there is to it. So we do also have to throw down that pressure plate so we can get in and out. I'd probably just go with a heavy weighted pressure plate just so that it blends into the floor a little bit better. We already have a button out there, so you can either have the button or you can throw down the pressure plate. I think I'll stick with the pressure plate because it's just a little bit easier. And not only that, we do have the garage as well. So I'll show you how to make the world's easiest car. Grab your favourite wool and carpet combination and throw down a row of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle of the garage. Add another row next to it. It's up to you how you want to orient the car. Let's have it so that as we walk in, the car's looking at us. So we'll place wool here, glass here, carpet on top, then item frames in front, and then a stone button for each one of the 4 corners. And that's all there is to it. That's the entire car. And yeah, feel free to put one in the drive as well if you like. I don't know why I'm doing this in third person mode, but this is the entire ground floor of the build, 100% fully completed, which means we can now head upstairs and work on the second floor. That was so trippy. First things first, we can actually just place a layer of brown wool directly on top of our smooth quartz. We are going to use this as flooring for every single room. Perfect. Next, we should probably make those rooms. So, to start with, we are actually going to come all the way over here to this window on the side of the house. And left of the window, we will place 1, 2 smooth quartz block, and then an oak door, and then 5 more smooth quartz, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we will place an oak door, and then 2 more smooth quartz block, like this. And then on the opposite side here, we will place 1, 2 smooth quartz, an oak door, then place a row of 4 smooth quartz, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can then connect to this wall. Then we have to divide this area up here. We will just place a row of smooth quartz block from here to here. Now, we may possibly be able to place another smooth quartz here, and maybe this one. No, okay, that one has to be a brick. That's fine. We will sort that out a little bit later. But what we can now do is figure out where the ceiling is going to go. So my personal recommendation would be just to have a nice flat ceiling across the entire top of our rooms, and the ceiling will basically go directly above the window line. So wherever you have window frames, that's exactly where they go. You can see where it's going. You could alternatively have it a bit higher if you wanted to, so of course we could make use of this space above us, but I'm not going to. I would rather just have a nice smooth finish like this rather than have everything a bit more like incongruent just in every single room. And now that we have the ceiling, we can place our bricks. So our bricks will be stacked directly on top of our smooth quartz blocks and will connect over the doors, and these will of course form all of our walls and divide this area into rooms. Perfect. This is looking nice and clean. So next we are going to replace the wall around this staircase here for smooth quartz, although I think I'm just going to remove this block here, replace this with a smooth quartz, and that'll be a nicer finish. We can place some oak fence along the side here for a banister, and not only that, we can have a light that hangs kind of like center of the staircase. It's about here or so. Just a lantern with mangrove signs surrounding it will do quite nicely. I also want to have some paintings as well, so I believe that we can stack some 1x1s that maybe like so. Yeah, probably like here, possibly here. We could even chuck them a little bit higher, I don't know. I think that that's okay though, I quite like that. And then we can also have some on this wall too, so like we can have 1x1 here and here. Okay, we'll just go for the same painting, whatever. Or maybe we could have a couple of... You know what, this wall's actually large enough that we could have some 1x2s. So those two, I think that would look pretty good. And then all the way over here, we can have some bookshelves with green carpet on top. Maybe a larger painting on this wall. That'd probably look a little bit too crazy, actually. So instead, we'll just go for a couple of ones, I think, just here and here. But then, yeah, because at least then it's a little bit different with them being a bit higher. At least it's, yeah, visually it's a little bit more interesting, I think. And that's perfect. That's kind of like the hallway slash landing slash stairs taken care of, which means I think that we should head into this room right here next. This room right here is the bathroom. To begin, we will place smooth quartz stairs here in this corner and extend each one of them this way, like so. Place some smooth quartz block on the end. Then a tripwire hook here on the wall and a stone button next to it. Flower pot here, some candles here. Then on this wall we will have a spruce trapdoor shelf, flower pot on top of it, fern here, and then a lantern here. Then on this side of the room we will place 1, 2 light grey concrete like this with an item frame on top of this block and a flower pot on top of this one. The mirror banner on the wall here. An upside down smooth quartz stair here with a flipped up oak trapdoor here. Then green carpet in front of the bath for a bath mat, and there you go. That is the bathroom. Then we can head out and make our way to this room. This is the smaller of the 2 bedrooms. In here we will place a scaffolding in the corner and then a double brown bed to the right. Then at the foot of the bed we will place green carpet and bookshelves. We will then stack a painting above this. It can be any painting, but that one is actually perfect. We can also apply our banners to the window. So these are meant to look like curtains. I think that looks pretty good. In this corner of the room, we will have a couple of end rods with a green glazed terracotta on top. And then in this corner, we shall have an armor stand. And depending upon whether you mind trapdoors clipping into the door here, you can have another one, but I'm not going to do it, as we are going to make a wardrobe by placing 2 spruce trapdoors on top of each other, one on top, and then a backwards spruce door here in front of this. And like I said, if you don't mind them clipping over, like it look like this, then you can have a double, but something about that annoys me. I don't know. I don't like that. But we can even maybe stick a flower pot here just on the floor, and I think that that's looking pretty good. Maybe you could have a large painting above the bed. Would that be a bit too much? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. But we can leave the room like that. And very short walk across the hall. This is the master bedroom. First of all, we will make a bed by placing 1, 2, 3 brown concrete in front of the base of this window, and here as well, 1, 2, 3. Then white carpet at the top of the bed, with a scaffolding to the right, and a couple of end rods and a brown glazed terracotta to the left. We can add curtains if we want by placing some banners here, the good old curtain banner. So we can't really have it on both sides unless we were to push this lamp forwards, which we could do. So I think that that looks all right. We could even stick, I don't think we can actually because of the banner, but that's fine. We then will create a small dressing table by placing a flipped up spruce trapdoor here, and then 2 here, flower pot here, mirror banner here, then mangrove stair here with mangrove signs either side. Then we'll have some built-in wardrobes here, so we will place 1, 2 spruce planks here in this position, and then armor stand here, maybe like a chest here, maybe even some scaffolding here, and then we can place some chisel bookshelves across the top of this, spruce planks across the top of that, then backwards spruce trapdoors in front of these open parts, and then that looks pretty good. You do have the option of adding some trapdoors at the top. I'm not certain that that improves it. I think it actually makes it look a little bit worse. If you wanted to add a mirror to this, you could as well. That's a perfectly fine option. And that is the bedroom pretty much complete, unless you did want to add, say, like a light in the middle of the room. You'd kind of stick it here-ish if you were going to do that. And then if you wanted to add, say, like a button for a light switch, you know, air quotes over the word light switch, or light switch, that would look pretty okay, actually. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, with that final detail added, we have officially completed this tutorial. However, this video is not over. We must now add our realistic suburban house into our city. I know exactly where this is going, and some of you guys are going to find this a bit boring, and that's because it is. But we are going to take the original version of this house and the semi-detached version of this house, stick them all the way over here in suburban storage, as this is the next part of the city to get remodeled. So whilst boring, it is necessary to keep this all the way over here where it is going to get put to use very, very soon. You may be interested in becoming a channel member. You can click the join button that will be somewhere on the screen right now. This does cost money and is a monthly subscription, but you do get some perks. The first of which is a download link for my city design world. This has every single build that I have placed in my city, arranged in order, and labelled. This perk also comes with schematics for the mods Lightmatica and World Edit, so you can easily reference and copy and paste these builds into your worlds in any way that you'd like. However, if you're not interested in any of that building business, the highest tier allows you to download the most current version of Mini-City. There are also some minor perks, including loyalty badges displayed next to your name whenever you comment something down below on my videos. Depending on how long you have been a channel member, you gain a more prestigious helmet, with the highly coveted gold builder's hat being the most valuable. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.